everybody, welcome back to Shami's Kitchen. So today in my kitchen I am going to be making a seafood boil, the ultimate seafood boil that is. And today I'm not going to be using much. So the ingredients that I am using today for the seafood boil includes, this is a seafood boil for 2 people, and I'm using these ingredients. If you want to make it for more, just double up. So I'm using 2 eggs. These are not boiled as yet. I am using the Rainforest extra large shell on shrimp. They're already deveined, as you can see right there. I got them deveined, right? I'm also going to be using, courtesy of Fresh Catch Seafood, I have some blue crabs, they were on ice, and some crayfish for my veg, if you want to call it that. I'm going to be using some diced potatoes. Use whatever potatoes that you want. I'm going to be using some frankfurters and just 2 corns. I have my scallion and my thyme, and then I have my dried powder season. Within this combination I have some pepper seeds, the dried pepper seeds. I have garlic powder, paprika, I have Cajun season, I have all-purpose fish spice, and the Jamaican season to the bone. So I'm blending all this dry seasoning, and I also have Maggi Soup It Up fish tea mix. So this is what I'm going to be doing to the boil. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is the boil. So I have my water on the stove boiling, and now I am going to be adding the Soup It Up, the powdered season, and the thyme and scallion. And then I'm going to be adding the crab and the crayfish in that exact order. So okay, everything is in the pot right now. That's your crab and your crayfish, and you are going to have this boil for about 20 to 30 minutes, right? Just the crab, the crayfish, let it boil in with the seasoning. At the end of boiling in, then we're going to work on that shrimp and the veg, because these take longer than the other stuff. So I'm just stirring this to kind of get everything in, and then I'm going to cover this and leave it for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so my crabs are already in the pot boiling. While that is boiling, I'm going to be preparing the sauce for the seafood boil. Right, so we already have in the pot, we have the crayfish and we have the crab, right? When about 20 minutes into boiling, then I am going to be adding the eggs sauce now. You are going to be using, and remember this is a serving for 2 people, so I am using 1/4 cup of the soft margarine. And then I have my combination here of the seasoning and spices again. You must be wondering why I didn't use salt. This is because my seasons are already salted, and so I'm not using any salt because you don't want this to be salty. So I have more paprika in this blend because it's going to be the sauce, and I want it to have that rich red color. And I also added more of the dry pepper seeds to it because I want it to be spicy. So in this, and I also placed some parsley, some dried parsley. I have seasoned to the bone. I did not repeat the fish seasoning. What I used was the season to the bone. I used paprika, I used the Cajun season, I used the peppers, garlic powder, and dried parsley. So this is what I have here. So what I'm going to do now is to put this butter on the stove for it to melt for about, it will melt in like about 2 minutes. Butter is basically melted or partially melted. So what I am going to do now is to add the seasoning to that. Oh, I spilled. Trying to get it all in. So just add your seasoning mixture, mix that all around, mix it all in. You want it to go in. Wow, I can smell the spice of this. I'm just going to lower the flame. Wow, it's pretty windy. So now have this. So I lowered the flame and I'm just going to try and have this seasoning dissolve in the butter for maybe 2 minutes before I turn it off. So this is the sauce for 2 people and I can smell the spice in it. So just keep your stove on the lowest for 2 minutes once your seasoning is in. Okay, so these are boiled now. What I am going to do is to take these out, let them cool, and then I am going to clean the crabs, take off the back or the shell, clean those, and then I am going to put on a second batch of water, of which I'm then going to add my potatoes, my corn, my franks, and my shrimp and my egg. Alright people, so this is my second pot with seasoned water, and as you saw before, I did the same for the crabs where I had them boiling first. Now it's time for the potatoes. So putting them in seasoned boiling water. The potatoes, followed by the corn. You want that seasoned in. And then the frankfurters. You can use any sausages that you want. I am using frankfurters. I'm going to mix this all in because I want all of this juiciness in everything inside here. And I'm going to have this boil for about 10 minutes. And in the first 5 minutes, after the first 5 minutes, I'm going to be adding the shrimp. So I have these right here that I am going to now clean and set aside. In the last 5 minutes when putting in the shrimp, I am going to put back the crabs and the crayfish that are cleaned in this water. Everybody, so the corn and the sausages and the potatoes have been boiling for roughly 5 minutes now. So I am now going to add back the cleaned crabs and crayfish and boiled eggs. What you're seeing on this, I used some more of the red or the dried crushed pepper, that is, and I used the Walker's Wood hot and spicy last lick jerk sauce over that as well. So I'm going to put this back, put this in, all of that goodness. Oh, there's a leg. Oh, that leg don't want to get out. So just add these back in the last 5 minutes. You want to put the boiled egg as well. Basically, the whole purpose of doing this is to get it all seasoned, re-seasoned. Wow, I should have used a bigger pot. No, I don't have any space for the shrimp. So what I'm going to do is to take out the corns and the sausages and add the shrimp. So I'm just taking out the corns. Maybe I'll take out the eggs as well. Some of the sausages, just so that I can get space to add the shrimp. There should be another corn in here. I'm gonna leave the potatoes in. Whoa, corn shell out. I'll get some more of the sausages out. Sausages. Alright. And I did the same thing for the shrimp. I had it marinating in the last lick jerk sauce. So I'm now going to put that in. So all of this is being done in the last 5 minutes of this 10-minute boil. The shrimp don't take long. The shrimp doesn't take long to boil, and I'm adding them in the last 5 minutes. Once the shrimps get red, I will take everything out and move to the next step. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes. The shrimp is boiled. As you can see, the tail is curled under. So now it's time for me to drain the water off and move on to the final stage. Alright, so now we're moving on to our final stage, and I have everything right here. Be careful when you're holding it. You can see the potatoes, the shrimp, and everything. I'm going to pour it into my baking tin. You can see all of this pepper sauce, or pepper seeds rather. That's all of the seeds that I used. You can see it all. So I am just going to mix it all in. So just trying to get everything in, and then it's time for the sauce. Let's get all of that. So remember this buttery sauce. I want to sprinkle this all over. Get all of this in, and then just kind of mix it. Whoa. Mix it all in. You want everything to get some of the sauce. Once everything is mixed in, I'm just going to pop this in the oven for another 5 minutes, and then it will be ready for serving. Let me get all of the shrimp. This would be extremely nice if I had king crabs, but they were all out at the time. So the next one I'll do, I will try my best to include king crabs, or if you can get it, you can add it. So yeah, everything is mixed in now. Time to stick this in the oven for 5 minutes. Alright, so this is what it looks like when it is done. See the egg, you see the seasoning and everything is in it. Yeah. So I'm going to be serving this with some dinner rolls. So I'm just going to plate this and then see what Jay has to say when he tastes it.